And welcome to Craig's Gun Channel. In today's video, we're going to cover the Phoenix Arms HP25. It's the 25 ACP version of their much more common HP22, which is the 22 long rifle. So we took it out to the range to take some shots. So let's see how it did.
And we're live.
All righty. Whoa.
Yep, doesn't look like you went all the way in battery.
No, I didn't. That was shooting high. Aww.
Okay, we're out the range today with the Phoenix Arms HP25. For those of you that are not familiar with these, they've got a weird combination of safeties. You have to have the magazine in it to take it off of safe. When it's on safe, you can't manipulate the slide. It's kind of a jumbled mess, but there's tricks you can make some modifications to make it behave like a regular handgun. We haven't done any of that with this. This is just stock out of the box. We have already taken some shots with it. It's had a couple, well, more than a couple, about 4 or 5.
Yeah, about half.
About half. Failure to completely go into battery. It's just not, fully going in. I don't like making excuses for firearms, but it is a brand new pistol out of the box, so there's going to be some break-in period. And these are cheap handguns, so I wouldn't expect it to be flawless out of the box, in all honesty. But with that being said, we'll see what it keeps doing here. Now, we're not going to be able to shoot it a whole lot to do a really thorough review, mostly because 25 ACP ammo is very hard to find right now, and it's very expensive, and it's just little 25 ACP, and I can't bring myself to spend that much money on it. But we'll go ahead and take some shots.
Give it a little love.
Give it a little, that's a feature.
Yeah.
I thought that was the last one. There is no slide hold open on the last round, so you know you're empty if you've either counted or it goes click. So in this case it went click because I wasn't counting. So we'll go ahead and reload it and take some more shots. Other than the first round and the last round, so I guess if you're in the middle of the magazine, you're okay. It seems to be starting to handle a little bit better, but we'll see.
Man, I pulled that one. Man, I did not like this thing.
So it's looking like your opinion overall is
I do not like this.
this is not a mag loader Steve endorsed firearm.
No. Where's my high point? Throw this thing away.
And we're going to go ahead and take some more shots with the HP25. Mag loader Steve is he's already been taking some shots with it, and well, you already heard him. This is not a Steve endorsed firearm at this point. I can't say that I blame him. We're having more than what I would call a normal break-in amount of issues. We did have a pretty bad issue where it was all jammed up. That was an ammunition situation more than the firearm. The primer itself was dimpled. It should have fired. So that was ammunition related. Everything else, that's the gun. It's got some issues. So we're gonna go ahead and take some more shots and see what it does.
Hopefully you have better luck.
Went in the battery. That's
That's a good start.
good start. I just don't think it likes you, Steve.
I think that's it. It heard me say I didn't like it, so it's, you know.
I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with its performance, except for the issues with it not going in the battery. So, and it's possible it's still break-in, period. This is the first of the 25s that I've ever shot. The HP22, I've owned 3 of those, and they've all operated fine, except for this stupid safety stuff. So, and you know, who knows? Because it's basically they're the same gun. But is it possible that maybe I've hit the what's the limit of quality control? I mean, these are not a super quality firearm, so maybe this one's just the one made on Friday afternoon when everyone was ready to go home.
That's a fact.
Or Monday morning when they were just showing up and not quite over recovered from the weekend.
So we took the HP25 out to the range to go ahead and take some shots. Now this was just out of the box, just basically opened it up and went to do some shooting. And of course the first thing we ran into was the super safe, triple safety, ultimate, it does everything for you but actually work like a gun safeties. I had forgotten how bad those really are. I understand why they did that. Actually, no, I don't.
No, yeah, that's just, everything about it was terrible.
Everything about it, it makes, in my...
It's just so redundant. Everything you need to do, you know, you drop the mag, safety, slide,
Yep.
safety, it's just too much.
It is. It's too much, and in my opinion, I think it actually makes the pistol unsafe.
Absolutely.
Because you have to have a magazine in it to be able to manipulate the slide. It's just, there's just a lot of things about that I don't like. Now, luckily, that's fixable. You know, you can modify all that. I'm sure it voids some kind of a warranty or whatever, but yeah, at some point, that's okay.
Well, for 150 bucks.
For 150 bucks, I think
that'd
you'd
be just fine.
willing to take that risk. Overall, as far as just, I'll give we'll go through my side first, because we have kind of different opinions on this gun. I like it. I really like the looks of it. I think they're a nice looking gun. Now, fit and finish is not great. So when I say I like the looks of it, don't think it's like, oh wow, it's a fine, nice, you know, it's like a Porsche or something. It's not that. I like the lines of it. It reminds me of like a Walther PPK. Fit and finish, not so much. So it's definitely a 10-footer. So as long as you're 10 feet away, the gun looks great. You hold it in your hands, you start to see things. But I like the way it shoots overall, the safety issues aside, because like I said, you can fix that. Just the actual shooting, I think it's reasonably accurate. Now, what I did find interesting is I didn't think it's not as accurate as the 22 version for some reason. At least I didn't think so. This particular gun, both of us had a lot of function issues. Going into battery was the big one. It didn't want to pop all the way in, so some of that's probably break-in. However, as I've said before, I understand sometimes guns have to break in, but that shouldn't be something that's a thing. A firearm should work out of the box. If it doesn't, it means the parts aren't fit and finished quite as well. And quite honestly, with a gun at this price range, that's exactly what it is. There's rough edges, things like that. It's not as smooth. So a little bit of wear in and things, and then they start working better. So overall, I like them for what they are. So let's go see what Steve thinks.
Well, I will agree with the way it looks. I think it does look good. Like I said, it looks like the Walther. The lines are nice, but I don't like it. Like I'll tell you, my biggest thing is the safety issues. I don't like all the safety. The little nubbly sights, they're so tiny. I don't like them. I thought accuracy-wise, I thought it was pretty accurate. I was getting pretty decent groups with it. Can't complain about that, but I just did not like it at all. I would like something that I know is going to go into battery and work every time, and I think all the safety issues, if someone's going to get hurt, I think, in the long run. I really do. I think that was just a terrible, terrible design.
I would tend to agree with you as far as with the safety issue. I think it's just overkill. For those of you who aren't aware, you have to put it on safe to be able to take out the magazine. But once the magazine's out, you can't take it off safe. When it's on safe, you can't manipulate the slide. So it is actually impossible to remove the magazine and then check to make sure it's clear. Now, you could pull the slide back and lock it in safe and then take out the magazine, but then you can't release the slide to put it's just weird.
It's definitely not for a new shooter, for sure.
No, it's not. It's because it's difficult to remember all the steps.
Absolutely. I know I was having issues with it.
I would say accuracy, like I said, I don't think it's quite as accurate as with the 22s. Now, some of that could just be I just might not have been shooting as good that day. I mean, that happens. The sights they're small, but they're the same sights that's on the HP22. But they're small on on all of them. This one, it did shoot a little bit high for both of us.
I agree. Yeah.
So that just means we were shooting at 15 yards. So that just means we need to maybe shoot at 25 yards and then probably settle in, or 30 yards. But then at that point, we probably wouldn't be hitting the target at all. But so overall, my thoughts on it: it's a good, low-price introductory firearm. However, if you're making it as your first firearm purchase, the safety issues on that, it's different than any other gun. So if you get used to this, you're going to have trouble with anything else.
Anything else, correct. Yeah.
So like I said, you can fix all of that. And then I think, you fix all that. You shouldn't have to, right. You shouldn't have to work on a firearm to make it be usable. And you could make the argument you don't have to work on it, because it is usable. But if we had to rack it up as far as points, we probably had a malfunction rate of, well, your first magazine, it was half.
It was at least half, yeah.
My first magazine, it was 2 out of the, how many does it hold, like 8 or 9?
Yeah.
So we're 25 to 50% malfunction rate. Now it did get a little bit better as it worked in. The last magazine I put through it, it still actually had a couple, a little bit of hiccups. It didn't want to fully go into battery the first time. So we actually had a lot of functional issues with it, I guess.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it could be breaking issues, but that was a lot.
It was a lot. And and as I alluded to, this might be a Monday or Friday gun, and like I said, this will now be the 4th of their firearms I've owned, the first in the 25. Maybe it's indicative of all the 25s. I don't know. We've got the sample size of 1. So, let us know in the comments, anyone who has one of these, what's been your experience with it? I mean,
yeah, right.
Have they been problems for you as well? The 25s, like I said, the 22s I have never had a problem with, and I've heard nothing but good feedback on the 22. So I'm wondering, is it an issue with the 25 or not? So And then, of course, you know, we already know Steve, he doesn't like it. Now, once we fix all of this stuff, because I'm going to go ahead and work on this gun. I'm going to, you know, I'm going to modify the safeties. I'm going to do some adjustments to make the sights stand out a little bit better. I've got a spring kit on it to make the trigger a little bit better. The trigger really isn't bad. It's got that cheap gun trigger, but it's not heavy or anything.
It's not terrible, right?
Yeah, it's not terrible, but you know, I should be able to make the trigger pull a little bit better. I've got some nice wood grips for it, so I'm going to trick it all out and make it look really extra pretty. Like I said, I like the lines of the gun.
It does. It is a nice looking gun. I'll give it that. I just don't like the functionality of it.
Yeah, well, you know, it doesn't have to function.
It just has to look.
It just has to look pretty.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up with that there. So I don't know how you want to summarize this one. It is what it is. It's an entry-level pistol. You pay more, you get a better gun.
Yeah, right, absolutely. And if it was me, I believe I would walk right by this one and pick up the high point.
You pick up the high point. Okay, well, you heard it here. Steve will actually buy a high
I would
point,
buy a high point
over one of
over
these.
that. Absolutely.
So this might be the only gun that he would maybe buy a
It
high
could
point
be.
over. But
This probably is, but
you know, for what
there it is.
Yeah, for what they're made for. You know, I guess you got to take that where you can get it. So we'll go ahead and wrap up with that there. Let us know any comments or anything you have, feedback as far as with these guns, what you think of them. If you like the video, please hit subscribe and like on the video if you want to see more like it. So I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up. So as always, until next time, stay safe.